What's up, friends? I'm Brian at Jacoby, and Happy New Year. December for me was a bit of up and down because I had some respiratory funk throughout the course of the month, and I'm still kind of working through a bit of that. As you might be able to hear, maybe my voice is a little more nasally, depending on how much audio tuning I do on this. The holidays always fills me with a bit of nostalgia because that was my big opportunity to buy a bunch of new role-playing games material when I was a kid, when I was in junior high and high school. Often my mother would present me with, part of my gifts would be a gift certificate to my local mall where there was a Walden Books where I would pick up my Dungeons and Dragons content as a kid. And I just remember being so excited the day after Christmas or 2 days after Christmas, heading into Walden Books, looking for that new box set or that new complete book of whatever. If you played Dungeons and Dragons way back during the second edition era, you probably remember all the brown complete book of dwarves, complete book of elves, complete book of magic users or wizards. So many of those, and so much fun stuff inside. And of course, way back then, that's when TSR was running the Dungeons and Dragons ship, and they were releasing all kinds of new campaign worlds, all kinds of box sets. And so you could go in and pick up for, I don't know, $25 or $30. Like one of my favorites, and it's one that I haven't recollected, but I'll have to see. I'll have to see if they have it on DriveThruRPG or something. But Menzo Baranzan, that's when I was reading through the Drizzt Do'Urden books, and Menzo Baranzan. There was like a giant. There was a big, thick box set that sort of detailed Menzo Baranzan, and it was so exciting because we could bring that into our campaign world while we were playing. Every weekend we would go to a friend's house and just basically stay up all weekend eating pizza and drinking Mountain Dew and playing through these adventures because we were total dorks. So the holidays always had me thinking about that. The old days when I used to just super geek out over all of the cool content that we could get, and friends and I we'd all get together and kind of look at each other's role-playing games haul that we would get, various Dark Sun or Greyhawk or Ravenloft, like all of these different campaign worlds and stuff, and finding ways that we could combine all these things. Planescape, so that actually that was fresh on my mind this year because Wizards of the Coast recently released their 5th edition Planescape material, and I have still I recollected the 2nd edition Planescape box set, and I will see if I still have much of the video. My desktop blew up in December, and so I lost a bunch of data, but I might still have some of the footage of a flip through of the 2nd edition Planescape box set. If not, maybe I'll make a new video and compare it to the 5th edition content, because I picked it up mostly because of nostalgia and just kind of thinking about how much fun Planescape was, and for the people I was playing with in junior high and high school, basically what we used it for is a way that we could combine all of our different campaign worlds and homebrew settings and stuff into one place, so that our characters like had a meeting place, and then we would go on planar adventures. We would transfer over, open a portal up into the Forgotten Realms, into Greyhawk, into Dragonlance, into unnamed settings from Dungeon Magazine, stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun, and it got me thinking that Tales of the Valiant from Kobold Press, their new game system set that's based on 5th edition D&D. It's kind of described as I'm trying to remember what they called it, but it was like the Land of Doors or something like that. the Plane of Doors. I don't remember exactly, but it reminded me of that idea that it's sort of this central hub where you can draw in inspiration from so many places. So if you're a GM and you just wanted to sort of like blow the doors off of your game setting and say, you know what, any third-party material you want to use, let's go. Maybe you're asking for trouble in doing that. Who knows? Or maybe if you're a sly GM, you can kind of roll with those punches and make it work. Anyway, so that's the holidays kind of get me thinking about that. Also, because it's a brand new year, last year there was a big push from a lot of folks on YouTube and stuff trying to promote Dungeon 23. The idea that over the course of the year, every day you create a new room of your dungeon, and every month you move to a different level of that dungeon. So at the end of the year, you end up with a 12-level dungeon with 365 rooms. I did that for a short period of time, but I kind of lost interest, mostly because for me, dungeon crawls aren't super interesting. I kind of lose interest. It gets boring for me. So this year, I was thinking it might be fun to sort of create a new adventure. And maybe it's a month-long adventure. Maybe it's a whole campaign that'll take me the whole year. I haven't decided yet, but what I did decide I'm going to do for inspiration, I'm going to be using the Tome of Adventure Design. So this, I bought this. I think I kickstarted this. It was produced by Frog God Games a couple handfuls of years ago. There's a new edition that's available on DriveThruRPG, so I'll leave a link in the description box below where you can pick that up. This is a really fantastic resource for game masters because it helps you kind of get outside of your own head to stop using some of your favorite tropes, stop falling into some of the ruts that you might create for yourself when you're writing encounters or adventures, things like that. Basically, this is just a giant book of almost random tables that you roll on, and then it gives you some adventure seeds or some idea seeds. And then you take those seeds and then you flesh them out and make them into adventures. I'm coupling that with advice from this book, How to Write Adventure Modules That Don't Suck, by Goodman Games. This is it has 25 authors, and it's basically just a bunch of hints about or tips about how to make interesting content. I also have a couple of books that were published by Kobold Press that are similar. I don't have them right here on my desk or at my hand, but I'll leave some of those links in the description box below as well. But Kobold Press has a whole bunch of books that are along those lines. How to create campaign worlds. There are a couple of Kickstarters that they recently released about how to create kingdoms and cities and towns and cities, stuff like that. Really great material. And then one more book that I'll be using and referencing fairly often is Return of the Lazy Dungeon Master by Sly Flourish. If you're not familiar with this content, this is, if you're going to be running games, in addition to the Dungeon Master or Game Master guide for whatever system you're running, Return of the Lazy Dungeon Master or the Lazy Dungeon Master is a must-have, in my opinion. This is content that it's mostly written from the content. The content is mostly written from the context of Dungeons and Dragons specifically, but you can use it for any game system. The tips that are written out in here are absolutely amazing for ensuring that you don't overplan for your game nights, to make sure that you are sort of pre-thinking a couple of things in your game setup, so that when the players sort of flip your plans on their head, you're not you're not left out in the cold. You have some ideas of where to go next and what to do next, and you're able to use collaborative storytelling so that you're offering your players options to do the things that they want to do, and allowing your story to transform based on whatever it is that they do. Anyway, Return of the Lazy Dungeon Master, again, linked in the description box below. Amazing content. Mike from Sly Flourish, also Mike Shea from Sly Flourish, also has a YouTube channel that I highly recommend, where he talks about the role-playing games industry, as well as sort of how he prepares for some of his games and stuff like that, using the tips that he put in his books. So yeah, that's it. So that's my plan for 2024. Let's make an adventure. I'm also thinking that I'm going to be relying heavily on using maps from 2 Minute Tabletop. If you're not familiar with them, go check them out. They have saved me a couple of times when I've had to like run a quick adventure and didn't have maps, or I wasn't sure what to do. Some of my other friends who run games with me that I'm playing in have done likewise. Like they've taken maps from 2 Minute Tabletop to fill in if we as players decide, hey, we're gonna zig instead of zag, instead of sort of having to come up with something completely on your own. There's lots of material out there that you can draw from, and so 2 Minute Tabletop makes some really great content. They also release their content so that you can pull assets into Dungeon Draft, so that you can use their assets to then create your own maps. So maybe I'll even be doing a little bit of that. I've been playing with Dungeon Draft pretty much all of 2023, and that's another really great program if you're looking for a program to sort of help you quickly make some battle maps. Even just the base package that comes with Dungeon Draft gives you plenty of opportunity to do some fun stuff. That's it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you want me to focus on Pathfinder 2, Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, or keep the adventure that I'm creating system agnostic, which is something that I've been thinking about doing anyway, because it's kind of fun to just have sort of a bit of a script, but it's up to the game master to decide, am I running this as a Tales of the Valiant game, Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, Level Up 5e, Pathfinder 2, Pathfinder 1, Dungeons & Dragons 3.5, who knows? So yeah, let me know. What kind of content are you playing right now? What are you interested in seeing? If nothing else, if I do pick a specific system, I might go with Pathfinder 2e, because I've been playing around with that a little bit more, looking at some of the remastered content. So I might go that route. But let me know what you want to see, because really, this channel isn't just about me; it's about you and what you want. So yeah, happy holidays. What are your plans for 2024? Leave a comment below. Hit like and subscribe. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. And until next time, roll well, my friends.